Hello, my name is Theo and today I will show you how to create the spec sheet for your irrigation system. The program can generate the spec sheet only if all components or pipes are connected. Also, drip start points and cables must be connected. Unconnected elements will not be displayed in the list. To make sure that all elements are connected, we switch to the spec sheet. In our example, the spec sheet now shows us that there is an element in the plan that is not connected. In this case, it's a sprinkler. Clicking on the eye symbol to the left of the line, an IRRISketch jumps back to the irrigation plan and shows us the unconnected component. If we connect the sprinkler and go back to the spec sheet, the error message disappears. The spec sheet automatically takes all the connected elements from our irrigation plan. Components that needed additional selection are displayed in different colors. And we have the possibility to select different products from different manufacturers. Let's start with the half-inch spray bodies and nozzles. Here we can see all the installed nozzle bodies. The Rainbird 8004 spray body with the amount of piece and the corresponding nozzle with the respective mount. MP rotators, he-vane nozzles, R-vane nozzles and even classic spray nozzles. Below we have the possibility to choose different accessoires to the sprinklers. Click the plus and a new row appears. For example, we can choose an extension for the 1804 spray body. Here we can determine the quantity. And if we want to delete them again, we click on the trash can. One row below, we are asked to select a flexible connection between the spray bodies and the pipe. The other rows are still inactive because they become active only after we select the sprinkler connection. We select a Hunter half-inch 30 cm swing joint. IRRISketch automatically gives us the correct amount of the installed 1804 bodies. Now the other rows are also active. Here we can select the connection from the pipe to the swing joint. We select a clamp saddle for 32 mm pipe with half-inch female. The program specifies 4 of these clamp saddles. Let's look again in the irrigation plan. Here is the zone with the R-vane nozzles. 4 of them on the 32 mm pipe. On this pipe, instead of the half-inch clamp saddles that IRRISketch suggested me, we should select a 3/4 inch clamp saddle. IRRISketch suggests a 3/4 to half-inch adapter and automatically adjusts the quantity. The second row with connection hose connects the 25 mm pipe. Again, we choose 3/4 inch saddle clamp. The number of adapters needed is automatically increased. In the next row, we are asked to choose the end caps. Once for the 25 mm and for the 32 mm pipe. The amount of adapter couplings 3/4 inch to 1 inch will be adjusted again. We can dispense with all the adapters in this case by simply changing the swing joint to one side half-inch and the other side 3/4 inch. IRRISketch will automatically apply our selection for the sprinklers to the half-inch rotor nozzles and the bubbler nozzles as well. If we want to use a flexible pipe rather than the swing joint as a sprinkler connection, we can pre-select to flex pipe and clamp saddle in the configuration under sprinkler nodes. We can predefine the minimum length of the flex pipe and the connector to the pipe. And if you want to use clamp saddles or T-fittings. We can select elbows or straight adapters as the end fittings. We choose the elbow half-inch for the sprinkler bodies from Rainbird. Also the flex pipe from Rainbird. Of course, we can still change the manufacturer. The required quantity of the flexible pipe is 17.8 meters as automatically calculated by the program. One line below are the elbows of 3/4 inch. These are the connection between flex pipe and the clamp saddle for 25 mm and 32 mm pipe as well as the end caps. The rotors and bubblers have to be changed from swing joint to flex pipe. Further down we find the elements for the drip irrigation. In the list we are showing the required amounts of the drip line and the line without emitters. We only have to select whether we want the T-piece and elbows as barb or as twist lock variants. The amount of parts will be displayed by the program. The amount of the tied down stacks 60 mm is also given by the program. Just as the sprinklers, we can set present in the configuration for the drip line. We can preset the tube additive, set the digits after the decimal point of tube length, configure the drip line holder spike step. We change the distance to 1 meter. Save, and already the amount of spikes changed accordingly to the length of the drip pipe. Here with a plus we can add some more components. IRRISketch reminds us that we have planned one drip start. And here we could add a drip start. The drip start unit, in this case the pressure regulation filter, can be added in the drip menu. Or we select a valve with pressure regulating filter. Furthermore, we can find different parts like cross parts, ball valve, end caps and couplings. We take out the pressure regulator at this point, because we want to install a pressure regulator filter in the valve box later. Now let's look at the valve box items. The spec sheet displays that we have planned 3 valve boxes. If you want to know which of these valve boxes it means in the plan, we click on the I symbol next to one of the components. Already the program jumps into the irrigation plan and shows us the box. In the first box we have 5 valves. 1 valve of the drip line and 4 valves for sprinklers. We select the valve for the drip line. We can go to different manufacturers and to variant of different valves. In this case we choose a valve with an attached pressure regulation filter. The outlet connection from the valve to the pipe is already specified by the program. In this case, a clamp saddle with 25 mm on 1 inch female thread. In the next row, valve accessoires can be added. We can add another row with a plus, but there are no accessoires available. If we choose a valve with pressure regulation filter, we could choose an approximate filter. For the sprinklers, we select a valve without pressure regulation filter. For the 25 mm pipes, the system suggests the same outlet fitting as above. For the 32 mm pipe, we choose a larger fitting. Furthermore, we can add various inlet and outlet fittings for the valve box. The program gives us the date of all inlet units. For example, we can select ball valves, water filters, various cross pieces and manifold of mounting in the valve box. At the end, we select a suitable valve box. The other two valve boxes are also configured according to our specifications. Now let's select and configure the control unit. We have already defined in the irrigation planning that we want to use a modular controller unit. Though we are only shown expandable controllers. We select the Rainbird ESP ME3 for station controller. IRRISketch automatically adds the approximate expansion module so we can control 13 valves. If we want to determine the expansion models independently, we can choose between automatic and manual addition of expansion modules. Under configuration of the datasheet at controller. In the row controller accessories, we can select accessories for the ESP ME3. In our case, for example, the Wi-Fi module. We select a rain sensor and also here we have special accessories. The wind sensor is only available from Hunter, so it was pre-selected by the program. Now we move on the selection of the approximately pipes. IRRISketch separates the main pipe and the lateral pipe in the datasheet, so just like in the irrigation planning. As you can see, there is a large amount of different pipes. We see pipes with 25 and 32 mm in diameter for the main lines and for the lateral lines. Accordingly, many different elbow, connectors, tees and reducers. But why? Let's take a look at our pipe layout view. Here we can see how high the flow velocity is in our pipes. IRRISketch default settings gives a maximum flow velocity of 1.5 meters per second. A value above 1.5 meters per second would result in a higher friction and pressure loss. We can find the setting in the irrigation configuration. If we change a parameter here, IRRISketch will also change the recommendation for the pipe diameter. So we could set here a higher flow rate upper limit so that IRRISketch considers all pipes in 25 mm. Caution: you should only change this value if you are sure that the possible pressure loss in the pipe will not affect the irrigation. Another way to solve the problem is to lay all the pipes in 32 mm. If you have already learned in the video on laying the pipes, we can choose the pipe diameter in advance. If we select a lateral pipe, the set diameter opinion will appear in the bottom left corner toolbox. We disable the 25 mm pipe. IRRISketch automatically select 32 mm as the smallest pipe diameter. To quickly change all piping to 32 mm, we press Ctrl and select the entire irrigation system. If we release the left mouse button, IRRISketch shows us all selected items. We select the items we want to have displayed. We delete all items except the lateral pipes. Now all lateral pipes are marked orange and we can define the diameter of all supply lines in the lower left corner. The same for the main pipe. Now our spec sheet is clearer and shorter. The main pipe and lateral pipe now all have the diameter 32. And the number of clamp fittings has been reduced accordingly. The number of elbow teeth and connectors has been recalculated by IRRISketch. If we want to add more fittings, we do it as usual via the plus. Finally, we select the wiring. The program calculates the number of meters. We can select the wire diameter, IRRISketch differential between control wire and sensor wire. We can also use the plus button to select additional accessories for the cabling, such as rivet line, isolating tape or heat shrink tubing. Once we have the spec sheet finished, we export it to an Excel file format, either sorted by manufacturer or not order, which is the sorting as it is currently. We download both. This is what an Excel file looks like. Once sorted by nodes, so like in the spec sheet, or the sorting by manufacturer. The above we have all products of the brand Hunter, then all products of the brand Rainbird and all products which were not assigned to a manufacturer. Of course you can edit the Excel file further, and the prices or add material or labor. This way you can make an offer directly from the program. And that was it. Now you know how to edit the spec sheet for your irrigation. If you have any questions about the program, do not hesitate to contact me. Please use the contact forms on IRRISketch homepage.